She said that American soccer fans, most of them aren't smart. They don't know the game. They don't understand.
Gio.
That guy Gazpacho.
Sports can take a lame gorilla, okay?
Right, did you know that Arsenal died?
He's got me buzzing.
Up the Toffees. It's hard to up them anyway.
I'm not even going to comment on that.
Welcome back to Footy with the boys after a big Champions League final in CONCACAF and UEFA, both ending 5-0. What games? We'll only really get into one because we only really watched one, unless, Mike, you are a CONCACAF Champions League connoisseur.
Vamos, Cruz Azul.
Cruz Azul and PSG laid the smack down on the other sides. PSG, what a side. We'll get into all of that. Review some of the hot takes we had at the start of the season. Don't want to miss that. We did not predict very well. We'll get into a team of the season for this Premier League season. And then, of course, we will preview the U.S. men's national team June camp game here. Mike, let's start with a little off the pitch. You've been in a bit of a battle yourself with a rat in the house.
Yeah, dude, I am at war with a rat, and it's not Remy, it's not Ratatouille, it's not fun and games, man. This is real life. This is my life, and this rat is terrorizing my life. Has been for the past 48 hours. Ate a bag of coffee, tanked a rat trap, and made a quick getaway. Has had Gavin and I searching high and low, far and wide to find how he's getting into our home, why he's terrorizing us, and if we could prevent him from coming back. Stay tuned. He survived the first encounter. Hopefully that's the only encounter. I kind of want to get a picture of him because he is so massive, but I would be okay if I never saw him again.
Landlord Mike is the best new series in my life, I swear.
Jesus Christ, dude. What did I sign myself up for?
I need fucking regular updates, dude.
As the Premier League and Champions League conclude, what we need is not the Gold Cup and whatever this roster is for the US. It is the rat diaries of the war between Mike and Gavin and this small dog that's really just a rat. But I mean, it's up for bigger traps and a bigger fight here. You have to up the ante on him, Mike.
I need to get Glock.
I don't know. I need to get bigger firepower. That's for sure.
Yeah,
firepower is certainly needed.
One of those
there.
Like Tom and Jerry, like fucking tying a piece of cheese to a shotgun. You know?
Oh yeah. I need to get the dog from Tom and Jerry. That's what I need.
Yeah, dude. That guy is a dog.
Dog couldn't do anything. You just need a cat. Cat that can handle a rat. It's
I don't recommend Tom. His track record isn't all that great.
He kind of sucks at his job.
Yeah, we find somebody else. But people who don't suck at their job, PSG, Mike, 5-0. This Saturday, PSG and Inter went head to head and was supposed to be the best of the best in all of Europe. And PSG, they could have scored 8 to 9 easy in this one. Dembele had that weird volley in that he crossed somehow, and Barcola should have had one that was super easy. There were 2 or 3 other chances that were just kind of begging for a little bit of a better finish or one other touch. And it was still 5-0, the largest defeat in a Champions League final for any team ever. And Inter Milan was at the hands of it, handing the treble to PSG after they handed the treble to Manchester City just 2 years ago. My God, I don't even know where to start with this. This is a crazy talented PSG team. Obviously, they've invested quite a bit. They haven't invested into the $200 million players, more of the $30 to $40 million players that have developed. One of those players that have developed is still 19 years old, Desiree Doué, with a brace in this one and an assist. Just a ridiculous performance from such a young player here. You obviously still have the Dembeles, the Kvaratskhelia, the Vitinhas, Janeves, so many talented players, and then Douay gets subbed off for Barcola to come on and just skin a Serbia alive. I mean, is this PSG's time now? This team is still very young and obviously just bitch slapped Inter on the biggest stage in world football.
Yeah, it's certainly their time. It's been a long time coming for PSG to get this Champions League. They got close in 21 with Neymar and Mbappe, lost to Bayern in the final, and have had some very good teams throughout the years. But this is the final product. This is the Galactico-less PSG. They got rid of those real big names, the Ibrahimovic, Neymar, Mbappe, Messi, you name it.
Ramos.
They've gone through so many Galactico star players, and it never came together. And don't get me wrong, this team is still expensive. It's still full of talent and big name star players, but it's not the same. It's a cohesive unit. These guys interchange so well. That front three, it's so dynamic. I mean, Dembele is kind of playing in the center, but he's not a true center forward or a true striker. He's moving into space all the time. The same with Douay, the same with Kvaratskhelia. And they're also running people down. The work rate that Kvaratskhelia puts in, I mean, by himself, unreal. You can watch clips of this game. He's chasing down Dumfries in the 76th minute when they're up 4-0 and ripping the ball off him just to maintain possession. He wants to go score again. They've built a phenomenal team here. Vitinha is just an electric player. Pops up everywhere, gets the ball, creates the first goal. He drops in, gets the ball off the center back, connects with Dembele, plays the ball into space. It gets slotted across. And then the third goal, Douay's second, I believe. He's heavily involved again. Shout out Luis Enrique. He plays a huge role in this. The second manager to win a treble with two different teams. Joining one Pep Guardiola. So pretty elite company there. And Luis Enrique, all-time good guy in football. So even if you're not a PSG guy, even if you're not an oil money team guy, you could feel good that a guy like Luis Enrique is winning. And some of these players, Marquinhos, another one who's been a long-time veteran of PSG and been at the top of the game for a long, long time. I expected a good game here. We didn't get that. PSG really showed the gulf between a team like them and a team like Inter Milan. Don't want to shit on Inter Milan too much because they had a great run. But the differences were evident. The amount of money that these teams have at their disposal, it's so drastically different. The kind of talent that PSG can bring in every single year, where Inter is making do by getting free transfers or finding veterans, underrated players, still a talented team, but it's just so different. And that was really clear here. What did you think, Jared? Do you think that it would be a better game? Did you think PSG was going to skin them alive like they did? Would any of other team stood a chance against this PSG in the final?
I mean, I think from the get-go, it was just PSG attacking Inter. And you could see that. I mean, that was the same way of Barcelona.
You could see from the kickoff.
Inter.
They took the kickoff.
Kickoff quite literally
played it directly into the space.
Yeah.
They set the tone.
Yeah.
They're like, dude, this is where we're playing.
Played it right out, and they said, we're playing in your half. And that was kind of the difference, is they had a direct idea, and they executed everything they needed to do, whether it was kicking the ball out of bounds off the kickoff to get it down their end. They were doing everything they needed to do. Dembele, as kind of Luis Enrique said, he was doing so much defensive work, pressing, everything. Everybody was bought in. Inter was ready to sit back, to counter, do what they did against Barcelona that admittedly, got them success, got them past Barcelona, got them past such a talented side in that Barcelona team. This PSG team, though, was just different. Barcelona, I think, at times just had lapses in their high pressing and big attack and let them in behind, let them get those kind of counter-attacking goals. PSG just completely controlled this game, didn't make mistakes, and forced just every opening wide open, find the easy passes, the easy goals. I mean, it was time after time and time after time and time after time. PSG just absolutely drew Inter out, completely destroyed them, and got a goal, got a shot on net, got everything they wanted. I mean, Sommer, we were talking before this game about how great he was. First goal, he has absolutely zero shot. It is a tap in across because it's just Hakimi in a great space after a beautiful pass into Doué. Second goal, deflected off the defender. He really can't do anything about it. I mean, it's just they were up 2-0 within 20 minutes. And at that point, that is just not Inter's game.
At that point, it should have been 4. I mean, Kvaratskhelia missed 2 in the box, and Dembele missed another. Like, the game was over immediately.
It was ridiculous how good they were, how clinical they were. And then, like I said earlier, when Doué came off and Barcolo comes on, there's another 2-3 goals that like have just been created. Serbi got absolutely fucking dropped onto his ass. It was just crazy, the gulf in the attacking, the clinical finishing edge of these two teams. I mean, at a certain point, yes, when you're up 3-0 and 4-0, it becomes easier to get the extra goals there. But it was early and often, and just everything from this team worked. And just the technical ability of PSG's team was so evident, just so fun to watch. I think you can say Inter can't believe they shit the bed here, and we would have loved to see Barca, and that game would have been fireworks. It could have been 5-6, could have been 10-10. That game, PSG, Barca, both so much attacking talent. But this type of defensive counterattacking strategy worked versus Barcelona's attack. And this PSG team and Luis Enrique, with all he does and how great of a manager he is, just absolutely murdered Inter here. Read them like a book. For Inter, this is losing Serie A narrowly to Napoli, losing in the Coppa Italia semifinal, and then losing in the Champions League final, the treble that almost was, and they end up with 0, Mike. I mean,
empty-handed.
So tough. They are an older team, and then, like you said, with PSG, they're super young. So if they can keep the mentality and keep growing, I mean, you had Zaire Emery coming off the bench as if it was nothing, and Barcolo, like I said, and so many other players that are so good, so young, and at
Seni
the
Mayulu
side
scores a goal.
Yeah,
that's another 19-year-old Frenchman on the bench. I mean,
ridiculous
talent galore, young talent galore. And Inter was the old guard. You saw it instantly that midfield could not keep up. I mean, Mkhitaryan was slow, Çalhanoğlu was slow. Yeah. And that's something I kind of expected Inzaghi to recognize quickly and make a change. But the changes didn't come quick enough. He couldn't identify anything, kept the same kind of tactic going the whole time, which relied on the fullbacks to press heavily. And then that opened up space for this PSG attack to go 3v3 against that back line, which are just terrible mismatches all day. That leads to Acerbi getting skinned, Bastoni having himself on an island with Doué, and then Kvaratskhelia having free reign to run at whoever started there. And then Bissek came in and got injured right away. So, I mean, never stood a chance, never made any sort of adjustments to give themselves a chance in this game. But really, there were no adjustments that could be made. It was over before it began.
Yeah. I mean, this will be a fun team to watch going forward here. Just so young, so good, and all bought in here. If they continue that going, this PSG team, the Barcelona team, Man City rebuilding, see what Arsenal can do with their investment. I mean, there's going to be some heavy hitters here with a lot of young talent coming up here. What a showing by PSG. Congratulations to them. They were the third most Champions League wins, I believe, or fourth most Champions League wins without winning a title. Number 1 on that list is Nick's mighty Arsenal. He is not here to comment on that, so that's why I say it.
Cheers.
What Nick is also not here to comment on, Mike, is the hot takes that he and us had in our preview for the Premier League season. Now that it is over, it is time to review our what we said and how that panned out. And I got some pretty strong feelings. We made some some bold hot takes that did not come out. We are real men. We will face it, though. Mike, I believe you have the list here, and we'll see if we can guess who it was and just react to how bad these might be.
I do. I have the list here. You, me, and Nick. We all did a mild, medium, and hot spiciness level on these hot takes. Few of them look pretty good. Few of them we were pretty much on the money, and then most of them we look like absolute fools.
Mix a couple of the good ones in too.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna mix them all in.
Okay.
We're gonna get all 9 out there.
We don't gotta completely shit on ourselves here.
Flags. What resident London-based club member of the pod predicted that a certain Gabriel Martinelli would have over 20 goals and assists in the league alone this season?
Unfortunately, I do 100% remember that our friend Nico cannot be here on a field trip with his students, or was. I mean, what a guy helping out the students, but good God, he could not help Martinelli not to 20 goals and assists.
In the league alone was his prediction. What do you think Martinelli had in the league? What do you think his final?
What did he end up at? 5, 6?
8 goals, 4 assists. 12.
Okay. 12. You know
and
what?
An
That's
additional
better than
2
I
goals and 1 assist in the Champions League. So a total of 15 goal contributions on the season. So not the worst, but nowhere near 20 in the league alone. All right,
No.
we'll pivot. 2 members of the pod had West Ham. One of them had him finishing top 6, and the other one said top 4 contenders. Who would this be?
Mike, I know one of those is me. I really believed in Kudus and the signings they were making and the money they were investing. And
Julian Lopetegui, and
yeah.
It all went wrong. Yeah, that was me with you. I had the more egregious of the two. I said they were legit top 4 contenders. You said they were top 6. But when they finished 14th, both of us kind of look like jackasses.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen.
What a regression.
Yeah, they should have done better. They really should have. I'll stand by.
They should have.
They have far too good of players to be where they are at in the table.
Maybe under a full season of Grand Potter leadership, they'll find themselves somewhere closer to that position. But
maybe we're a season too early on that one.
That was rough. Here's one. Ten Hag out by Boxing Day.
I mean, come on.
That was you.
We know ball.
And you were pretty much on the money.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact date, but he sure didn't last. Here's another one. Manchester United. Somebody said that neither Tottenham or Villa would be in the top 4. That's correct. But they also said that Man U would be in the top 4, and the reason they weren't in the top 4 the season prior was because they were so injured. Man U didn't particularly have the worst amount of injuries this year.
Top 4. Where are they on the list? I'm not seeing them in top 4.
There's a couple 4s there. There's a 42 points.
15th place.
Who do you think
11
that was?
spots off. That
Who made
was
this prediction?
Mr. Nico Valderrama, who...
That was a Nico Valderrama.
Do not let him predict success for you, is the lesson to learn here.
Here's one. All 3 promoted clubs will be relegated.
Yeah, well...
Bang.
I'm not sure if that's the hottest of takes, but that certainly did happen by a large margin, too.
By a large margin. Here's one. Ipswich, top half of the table.
Who was that?
Who was it, Jared?
Was it me?
You said that Ipswich would crack top half of the table. Kieran McKenna would show who he was. Just to remind you, they finished on 22 points and were relegated by mid-April.
But they weren't last.
We'll be back next year.
They were not last.
We'll be back next year.
And the last one I'm going to give is Erling Haaland will not win the Golden Boot. That was correct.
And he
Mo
didn't?
Salah ended up winning. Yes, Erling Haaland did have a
That
spell on the
That
sideline.
was Nick,
but
wasn't it? I think I remember that one.
nope, that was me. But
Was it?
Yeah, I think that
Well
was
done,
mine.
lad.
yeah, thank you.
Well done, lad. Get in there.
Just to finish it
There
up,
you go.
we had our top 6 and our bottom 3.
Already know a team.
Flags,
up at
who do you-
bottom 3.
Who did you predict to go top 6? Do you remember?
Top 6, did I go City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Villa, Chelsea? I
You
don't
went
know.
City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Newcastle, Tottenham, Chelsea.
Tottenham is
Yikes.
Oof.
Not too bad. Not too bad. You
The
had
Tottenham show.
5 out of 6 correct, and then you had Tottenham.
All right.
Nick had Arsenal, Liverpool, City. City was 3rd. Manchester
Wow.
United, Tottenham, and Newcastle.
Oh, he had Tottenham and Man
He
U.
did.
What?
He did. And
Okay.
I had City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Villa, Newcastle, and Manchester United. So none of us went scot-free. We all included either
Wow.
Tottenham, Man U, or both, who fell much further than that.
I feel happy
you
that I only had
had
one.
Who did you have finishing last, Flags? Do you remember?
I had Nottingham Forest finishing last. Did I
You
not?
did have Nottingham Forest finishing
Yeah.
last. And Nick also had them getting relegated in 7th or in 18th, rather.
In
That-
my defense,
They
they
aged so well.
had spurned my boy Gio Reyna, and that fueled
That's fair.
some negative feelings.
That is fair enough. Well, about 50% bowel knowledge from us. That's a passing grade, if you ask me. One other
all we really
point:
need.
Nick
Hall of
called
Fame
a
batting numbers.
Cole Palmer regression. That I don't know if it was an actual take or not, but I heard it in the video. Nick said that Cole Palmer was going to have a fall from grace, and he was pretty spot on. Cole Palmer only had one
Yeah.
goal contribution in the league for the last 4 or so months. So shout out Nick for a little bit of sprinkles on top.
Cold Palmer, but for real cold.
Chelsea
Did
ends with
not get it
69.
done.
Nice.
Ends on 69. Nice. In 4th in Champions League. It is crazy to scroll down that table and see the blue Champions League notification on the side by Tottenham Hotspur right next to the relegated to the championship right
It
below
don't
it.
look great.
Tough to watch. We won't have a
Deserved.
lot of Tottenham Hotspur players in the team of the season, Mike. We are going to be determining who the best 11 were for the Premier League this season. We'll go one by one, choosing position by position. Mike, would you like to start, or do you want to leave it on over to me?
You do the honors, Jared. How about it?
All right. I'm going to start. Should we start in the goal or up atop with the attackers?
I want to hear your pick at goalie.
All right. At goalie, I'm going with Jordan Pickford. This is probably
Shout out the boy.
100% biased, but the amount of saves that Jordan Pickford made to keep Everton in games when we were shit and get any type of points was amazing. And on that run that got us out of danger with Moyes, the amount of saves and just crazy shit he was doing for this team is the reason they were able to go on that run, that we were able to pull off huge results against so many of the big six sides. I mean, he was just absolutely massive, and I don't think there was anyone else that had crazy big performances. I know Sells for Nottingham Forest has gotten a good amount of shouts for team of the season, but I'm still going to back the boy Pickford here. Mike, do you agree with that, or do you have somebody else that you're saying give him the nod?
Dude, I love Pickford, and as an Everton fan, of course, I'm going to support you on this. That being said, it's hard to choose a player from a club that finished 13th or anywhere near mid-table,
please.
bottom half. But if you're going to do one, it's got to be JP. I agree with you there. I'm going to go up top. I'll go to right wing. I'll do a shoe in. It's
What?
King No. It's Mo Salah.
What a cop out with Mo Salah.
I'm hopping across the Mersey. Flags wants to be controversial. I just want to be factual today. This guy's going to be in your team of the season, regardless of your thoughts. Best player for Liverpool, best player in the Premier League, and a legit Ballon d'Or contender based on the season he had.
Yeah, just a ridiculous season for Mo Salah there. I'm going to be going to the other wing. I'm going to our Bs of Brentford with Brian Mbemu getting the shout here.
Flags is a mid-table. Love it, dude. You're all over it.
20 goals this season for Brentford has been a star rumored to be going to Manchester United here. There he is in front of the second one there.
You're right. It was EU. Excuse me, Palmer. I'm an idiot. There he is.
Second one. I mean, he has been class. 20 goals this season for Brentford. He has been absolutely absurd. Getting a big move to Manchester United. £60 million is the current reported fee that they're asking for him. So we'll certainly see that. Has been for a long time one of the more underrated players in the Premier League. So have to give him a shout here, Mike. Who is up for you in your next pick?
You put Martinelli at 9, right?
Yeah, for sure. Let's round out the attack. Let's go with the hero of Nottingham Forest, the Kiwi, the big man, Chris Wood. 20 goals.
No Isak. No Isak.
Isak was definitely the other shout here. Erling Haaland is also in the mix because, I mean, he just scores so many damn goals. But Chris Wood was massive in a team that didn't score a whole lot of goals this season compared to the other teams around them. Dude, it was everywhere. Really a heroic performance and secured them European football. So give him a little credit.
All right.
Give him a lot of credit. Give him a team of the season credit.
The Kiwi up top. I am going with the left back here. I'm going with the American Jedi Robinson, Anthony Robinson there at left back.
Fucking mid-table boy.
I mean, double-digit assists from a left back, and the performances he put in this season were just absurd. Also, the left back position is maybe not the strongest, as now just so many center backs are playing outside backs, but pure left back, and what a season he had for Fulham while healthy. Mike, who are you going with?
Nick would lose his mind on that Anthony Robinson inclusion. He loves the guy, but he'd be all over Miles Lewis-Skelly, I'm sure.
But he's not had the full season that Jedi Robinson had. He didn't have 10 assists.
The other shot
was third in assists in the entire league as a left back.
Fair. Hey, we'll put an American in. Love it. Rep. Let's go to the center back. Let's do another shoe in. That's Big Virgil van Dijk. Massive this year. Arguably just as important.
Either or.
Go left is fine. Yep. I mean, what more to say about Van Dijk?
Yeah, I mean, he's just a rock at the back. He's just not going to let anything go through him there. Virgil van Dijk in the back there.
He's
going midfield, and I'm putting in Ryan Gravenberch from Liverpool, part of a very, very good season for Liverpool here. Any one of those three midfield slots. I mean,
okay, we'll pick one though.
He came over from Ajax to Bayern. Wasn't playing, came to Liverpool, and boy, has he been playing and doing well there. So one of those three midfield spots going to Ryan Gravenberch.
Okay, well then you have to think ahead. Who else do you put in the midfield?
Pick one, Flex.
Just put him anywhere. Put him on the right side.
Okay. What was his last name?
Gravenberch.
G-R-V instead of an F.
Gravenberch.
There he is.
There he is, the boy.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be a Liverpool midfielder in here. I'm going to go with the center of the three midfielders. I'll give a little Arsenal love. There's got to be one of them in here. It's got to be Declan Rice. He was incredible this year. Didn't really play CDM, played a more advanced position. in the 8, but as Nick has said time and time again, he was maybe the best midfielder in Europe this year. I'd probably put Pedri ahead of him, but he was damn good.
Yeah,
He might be the
it
only
was,
Arsenal representation in this team, which we'll see what Nick's reaction is.
It will
I
be.
think Odegaard
loud.
didn't step up. I think Gabriel has a shout at the center back position.
I think he'd agree with you on
But
Odegaard.
Saka was out injured. Obviously, Saka would be a shoo-in if not for that. I'm gonna go right back and go with the man who has spurned Liverpool to head on over to Real Madrid, Trent Alexander-Arnold. I mean, that Liverpool team was just on a different level this season. So putting in another Liverpool player just seems easy here. And a good season for Trent Alexander-Arnold as he departs to go to Madrid, as I said, and play in the Santiago Bernabeu with his pal Jude Bellingham.
Yeah, I agree. We'll round out the defense. I'm going to go... I think Gabriel's a good shout, but I'm going to go with Milinkovic from Nottingham. Dude who was brought in pretty reasonable amount of money. MIL. And he was massive. Murillo was also phenomenal, but Milinkovic was locked down, a giant motherfucker, and made that Nottingham defense just a brick wall. Also, gotta love a Serb.
Yeah, I mean, big part of why Nottingham Forest, although my prediction put them in last, were ending up fighting for Champions League at the last week of the season. Unfortunately, did not get in. Last spot here. Mike, help me out with
I
this.
have a name.
I'm thinking McAllister here
I'm thinking McAllister too. Yeah, he was incredible. I think he was even better than Gravenberch based on how he turned up in the second half of the season. He was incredible.
Yeah, both of them were just Liverpool in general. That whole team was just clicking on a different level. So a healthy representation from Liverpool in this one here. Still got our boy from the other side of the Merseyside, Jordan Pickford, in there. So we have Pickford in net with Trent Alexander-Arnold, Milinkovic, Virgil, and Jedi there in the back. We have Gravenberch, Rice, and McAllister through the midfield, and then Mo Salah, Chris Wood, and Mbemu up top. What a team that is, Mike. Any choice on who the manager of this Premier League team of the season should be?
It's got to be Arne Slot, doesn't it? I mean, dude came in, took over, won the league on his first ever attempt. Give the man his credit. Give the man his flowers. Dude's already a Liverpool legend, and they'll look to build on this next year, I'm sure. Jeremy Frimpong coming in. They're not skipping a beat, dude. They're ready to go.
Frimpong coming in, and I see a $130 million bid for Florian Wirtz to come in from Bayer Leverkusen. That would be something. I don't even know where you fit all the talent onto that team. I mean, it comes obviously at the 10, but man, they are getting deep and scary with the amount of talent they will be having.
I won't be surprised if Kirkes goes there as well, and they get a new left back.
Yeah, maybe Jedi Robinson. Been connected before. We'll see if he makes his way there. That would be something to watch. Maybe a little sacrilege for me having to see an American over there at Liverpool, but certainly would love to see him on the highest stage, and that would certainly be what Liverpool's at right now. Speaking of Jedi Robinson and the U.S. men's national team, Mike, the U.S. men's national team corner starts now with a preview of our game against Turkey, and the roster has changed once again since the last time we spoke. Balogun is out. Sean Zawadzki is out, and DeJuan Jones is out. In really the only ones that really matter, Paxton Aronson coming in. He had an amazing season in Utrecht. I thought it was a little crazy he wasn't included. No direct striker replacement for Balogun is certainly a choice here, Mike. Leaving our true striker options as Patrick Agyemang, Damian Downs, and Brian White. You could make a gander that maybe Haji Wright could be a striker there, but Damian Downs playing in the second division of Germany, although very good Cologne and got promoted. Agyemang, MLS, Brian White didn't look great, in my opinion, when he played for the US before. Agyemang extremely raw. Where's the excitement for this game against Turkey for you? Obviously, I think there's excitement in the midfield. You have the Malik Tillmans, the Diego Lunas, Tyler Adams, Johnny Cardoso. The attack, you just throw Diego Luna and Malik Tillman into the attack and say fuck it and see who works at striker with them. What's the solution here? Because we're missing a lot of players, and now we're missing another big one here in Balogun being out.
Yeah, I don't think there's a great answer. My two options would be either play Haji Wright down the middle, but he's generally better coming off the wing. And the wing options are pretty strapped as well. Or play Haji on the wing and start Damian Downs in the middle. I don't really like what either of the MLS guys provide. Agyemang is so raw. He's a physical presence, but in the last camp, he was wasteful with the chances. Definitely should have scored. Kind of fluffed his lines twice. And then Brian White, who's had a pretty great MLS season to start, scored a lot of goals. I think he's just below this international level. So I'm scared. Damian Downs, the reason I would include him is because he's young, and he's a potential future player. And I like giving guys like that a chance. But as far as his game, I haven't seen any of it. So he would be a complete surprise to me to see him play here. To fill out the other attacking spots, yeah, Tillman and Diego Luna are the two clearest choices for me based on skill level. But then you leave yourself on one side without a true winger and leave yourself exposed with someone running at Dest, assuming he's going to start at the right back. And he likes to get quite up the field. So I don't know. Who would you start in that attacking three?
I don't know. I think you almost have to coordinate the entire team. You probably have Dest on one side, Tim Ream and Chris Richards in there, and then I'd like to see Freeman get a start. I know Arston's getting some attention from Ligue 1, so maybe he gets out there. But I think Freeman on one side, Serginho Dest on the other. I don't care if Dest is at right
What's
or left
Freeman's
back at
preferred
all.
position? Is he
He's a
natural
right back?
Yeah.
He's getting a lot of attention overseas as well right now from Orlando City, young player that's doing quite well here to start the MLS season. Like to see him get a good idea of what he can do on the national stage. And then, I think you have to go Tyler Adams, Johnny Cardoso of a double pivot, and then either have Malik Tillman or Diego Luna above them, and then one of them out wide. And on the other wing, I think Brendan Aronson or Haji Wright. And then, maybe Brendan Aronson on Serginho Dest's side so he can track back. And then I want to say Agyemang is probably who's going to get the start just because he's been in camps before and Pochettino seems to like him just being gigantic and crazy athletic.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see Damian Downs get a shot. I don't know what his true level is at this point, just because he's been playing in the second division of Germany and doing very well there. But once again, very different level than
Bundesliga 2
top level.
And then
the
international level. That's a jump.
Yeah. And this is his first camp, so I don't know if he'd be thrust in there. Do not want to see Brian White. If I see Brian White starting, I will be a defeated man. I'd love to see maybe Quinn Sullivan get a run out there, see what he looks like. Other than that, Mike, I'm having a tough time getting that hyped up for what I want to see here. What is there to say, you know what, you need to watch this for this reason? Because it's against a very good team, and if we had our full roster, I'd say, you know what, I feel pretty confident. with this roster, I don't feel confident, and there's not that many game changers here.
There's not. I guess if you had to get excited about something, it'd be the midfield. Having both Johnny and Tyler available in camp, that doesn't happen a lot. They both had their injury issues, and that is a really strong pairing in the middle of the park. Can they play well together? I don't know. That's a real test. So to see both of them starting would be cool. And then Serginho being back is the one highlight for sure. It's been a long time. He is such a dynamic player, especially when he's at full fitness. Excited to see him. Hopefully he's able to go a full game or close to it. Didn't really get to catch any of his return to PSV, but I know he was playing sparing minutes. So I hope he's ready to go. But the real reason to watch this is because it's so damn close to the World Cup. I mean, need to take this opportunity no matter who's in camp. And the real person who needs to prove it is Poch for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the best way to put it is these are going to be a lot of players that are on more of the fringe of the roster. Obviously, you have somebody like Dest where it's like he's going to be a show. Watch him, and it's going to be a fun time. But for a lot of these players, this might be the last shot they get to prove themselves to continue to be called into camps before the World Cup in just 1 year. So this is an audition of sorts. Yeah, what's your question?
Question with producer P.
Questions with producer P. So obviously this isn't like our best roster. Would you guys have liked to have seen Kevin Sullivan on the roster, not to play, but just to kind of get some reps with the big boys?
I think that would be very hype of just randomly hyping him up. But he's with the U17s right now. He's with that camp. That team is absurdly stacked for the camp that they've called. That team looks like it's going to do some damage for that age group, but I don't think he's at this level right now. Is in MLS, he's having good showings and everything, but he's still not at this type of level. And I think you can see a lot of times in the MLS, he has flashes where if he's not thinking about it, he looks absurdly good and can dribble by somebody and he'll create. And just naturally, he's a very good player, but he still has those nerves because he is 16, 15. I don't know if he's seen 16 yet. But he is absurdly young. He still does show some nerves in a lot of these games.
As much as I'm excited about Kevin Sullivan and the talent that he is going to be, like Jared said, he's so young. And we are cautious about the MLS guys who have been brought into camp, who are certified starters in the MLS and stars in the MLS. Brian White is maybe the hottest striker currently in the MLS, and we're fucking worried about him potentially getting minutes. So to bring a guy like Kevin Sullivan, who's just starting to break into the first team, to get maybe some sub appearances, playing an Open Cup, not real minutes yet, it wouldn't make any sense. It would be a pure hype pick. The timing doesn't make sense, and I just don't think he'd be ready.
Yeah, I wouldn't be against if they had U17s and the national team or anything like that playing, like training together for certain points of things. Yeah. But that's not happening.
Training camp's different.
Would make a hell of a great thumbnail for us.
It would make a hell of a great thumbnail for us to have.
The Lamine shouts would be back on for sure.
Yeah, for sure they would be. Another shout for that age group is that Matthijs Albert, a winger from Dortmund, the same age as Kevin Sullivan, that 15, 16, whatever, in the Dortmund Academy, going to be moving up to their U23 team, I believe, and going to be at the Club World Cup with the senior team this summer for Borussia Dortmund, expected to make his debut. Would be, I believe, younger than Gio Reyna when he made his debut. So, I mean, Borussia Dortmund just continues to treat young Americans well in terms of their academy and developing players. So certainly something to keep an eye on this summer. The Club World Cup with Dortmund having such a young American there in Matthijs Albert. That is quite the promising winger. USA versus Turkey. Big matchup there. We'll go up against the Swiss after that. Mike, any final thoughts here on this U.S. men's national team as we head into what will be a busy summer that we will keep you all covered on here on Footy with the Boys, so make sure to subscribe.
Yeah, it's a weird time as a fan. Definitely easy to be down on the team. A lot of negativity swirling around, rightfully so. Interesting decision making, poor performances, questionable commitment from some of the star guys. But nonetheless, we support them. We need to get excited about this team again because World Cup's coming, baby. And I'm not going to be a sourpuss come 2026. I'm going to be back on the bandwagon, maybe delusionally. Maybe they show me something between now and then. But as fans, we need to be excited. I think that's the only takeaway I can have.
Yeah, I will be very frustrated with this team, I'm sure, at many times leading up to this World Cup. But the second that World Cup is getting going and getting that hype underway, I will be fully delusionally thinking that the U.S. could actually win it on home soil. Fuck it. Maybe we rig it, and I'm okay with that option as well. I'm just saying. Let's keep all options open if it doesn't look like the fairway is going to get it done. Make sure to like, subscribe, keep the notifications on so you can know when we're dropping videos. Big summer of international football coming up. We didn't even mention France versus Spain on Thursday. Are you kidding me? The footy is going to continue. Lamine versus Dembele potentially. Come on. For the Ballon d'Or, keep it here. Keep it locked on Footy with the Boys. And until next time, peace.
See?